ghost story is supposed to contain, and they're brainstorming and trying to write a ghost story, and then later on I'm going to let them hold a flashlight around and tell their ghost stories, and we've contacted a makeup artist to come and talk to them about monster makeup, how they do that in the movies, and then House of Torment to see about the mechanics behind haunted houses and things like that. So those are some of the things I'm exploring, but I don't know if they're going to happen or not. It just depends on if we can get people here.
Miss Kirby, what do you think so far?
I never would have thought to use PowerPoint in this way.
How are they using it? What's the deal?
For animation. You duplicate the slides and then make slight movements.
So almost like claymation?
Almost like claymation. And then when you go in and change the time, you can make it super fast.
That is really cool. Alright, get set, go!
Where's the teeth? Where's the teeth? Where's the teeth? The teeth.
They're not forgetting anything, Tabitha.
They're all
Here.
Oh, excellent. You're almost the first half done.
Oh, the shoulder. Is it?
I don't know how far he's going to go without his legs. Oh, there we go.
This is hard.
There we go.
Oh, but you're doing an excellent job.
Oh, give the man a hand. Put him ching. Love it. Now,
He's inside his body.
now, what would happen to the poor guy if you got one of the bones in the wrong order?
He died. No,
He wouldn't work right, would he?
Yeah.
Alright, that's...
I like that shape. Yeah, it's a cool shape. Look at that. It's a very cool shape. Do you like it?
Those holes are really tiny. Can you get it in the right hole? Man.
We'll do, then we go to next,
Lights, camera,
next. So now it's officially saving. You can't do it.
Okay, I think I found my cluster. Here we go. They've got making spring rolls. And then what was the dessert here again?
Coconut cream with banana,
Oh my gosh.
and it's good over rice.
Salad with beef.
What do you like about enrichment clusters? Which one are you in? Just a couple of sentences. Okay.
Well, I'm in the cluster called Is There a Doctor in the House? And last week, we got to stitch pig's feet, and it was kind of gross. And then this week, we got to have some printouts, and then on the website at Renzulli, we got to make ourselves with animal parts. And it was really fun.
Why did you sign up for that one?
I signed up because when I grow up, I would like to be a doctor.
You want to save the world, and we're making bags out of t-shirts by cutting off the sleeves and cutting off the neckline, and then we sew the bottom. And at the carnival, we're gonna do we're gonna have a booth, and we're gonna also do a drawing. And whoever's name gets picked, they get to have a free bag.
first and second graders, and it was a service cluster, and it was called Heroes with Hearts. And the kids, this was only the second time that I'd done it, and so we were and it was with younger kids, so we were kind of guiding them more. But the kids that signed up, one of the little boys thought he was signing up for making a hero, you know, a superhero, but the rest of them actually understood why they were there, that this was helping people. But we had a lady from Caritas, which is the soup kitchen down in downtown Austin, come and talk to the kids, and we showed some Reading Rainbow videos about homeless people. And then we did several things. I think it was on that one. We organized a toiletry drive. I think that was that one. I've done two that are similar to that. And on Martin Luther King Day, we had that when school was out, we had a Martin Luther King Day at school where we did service. And so we had a scavenger hunt inside the building where the kids went and found the toiletries that we'd collected, and then we bagged them up, and we took them. In the end, we ended up also having canned goods to take to Caritas, so the kids actually went there before it opened, and for lunch that day, and we toured the facility and everything. And the coolest thing, we had, you know, these were little kids, so I had talked to them a lot about how, you know, we might see some homeless people. So don't go like, oh, there's a homeless person, you know. I was talking, you know, I was trying to instill in them that these are regular people that have had things happen in their life for different reasons that have caused them to be now homeless or living in a situation where they need food. And so when we were leaving, we were getting back on the bus, and it was downtown Austin. The bus driver was very protective of all of us. He was like making sure nobody was coming across the road when we crossed over and everything. And there were people lining up outside coming to the soup kitchen, and this huge African-American man, I mean like really tall, big old man. I saw it in one of the little boys, who's very precocious, is looking at this man, and this gentleman was obviously getting in line to get some food, and he's looking at him, and then the African-American man just gave the biggest smile to this kid. I almost started crying. I was like, because I was waiting for the kid to go, he's one of them! He's one of them!
Explain the beginning to you. The way we got to this place was because when I became the principal, which was 10 years ago, and I had taught first grade here I'd been the special ed teacher for 2 years. I taught special ed for first grade for 10 years. I'd been the assistant principal for 2, and then, so I've been here almost since they put the bricks in, is what I'm saying. And when I became the principal, we do have a very high-performing school. You know, our kids, we are blessed with families who education is important. They send their kids ready to learn. They expect their kids to learn. It's not if you're going to college, it's where you're going to college. So that is a gift that we have been given. Along with that, you know, we have a gifted and talented program. And so, you know, everybody wants to be in the gifted and talented program.
Yeah, they do.
You're shaking your heads. You know about this.
Yes, oh, yeah.
And, you know, because, and it's every parent's responsibility. They want to make sure they're giving their child every opportunity. And that is what, as parents, we signed up for. And so, you know, that's a reality. And so, you know, my challenge was, and I just felt that tension, you know, sort of mounting. And then for the parents who really understood that their children the gifted and talented program was not an appropriate educational placement, then they're feeling somehow like they're being left behind or they're not getting something, you know, and so it's like, what can we do about that? And I do not even know how I ran across, you know, Dr. Renzulli and the, you know, University of Connecticut. But I did somehow, and I was the assistant principal at the time. And the principal that was here was very open to that idea. And so, you know, when budgeting wasn't quite in the situation that we all know that it is now, it was a little easier to get funds. And we sent 12 people to Confortute. And this was, you know, over 10 years ago. And everybody came back really excited and all gung-ho about it. But it was like, okay, how do we really make this work? And so we spent years trying, dabbling here and doing things. And at the time, the district was very involved too, or not the whole district, but our end of the district was very involved with curriculum alignment. And so we were spending a lot of time, which is an essential part of the whole model. So we felt good about that. Like, okay, we're kind of doing step one here is, working with our curriculum and, working on compacting and differentiating. But, we weren't into the full-fledged enrichment clusters. And so we and I just kept, we kept wanting to do it. We sent more people. They were excited to do it. We just couldn't quite get there.
I think we had to get has everyone here gone to conference? Okay, so you remember the confusing model that he shows? I'm assuming with the block, right, and the different layers, and like that one part, right? Yeah, and all the arrows and everything, but like that main part is your curriculum alignment. It's your concept-based mapping. It's your curriculum alignment. It's the compacting, the differentiation. That's a huge part of school-wide enrichment, and that's part of educating our parents that SEM is more than just Fridays. It's how we teach. It's the philosophy of how we teach. It's how our teachers collaborate. It's how they plan. It's how they create their units of study. So that was a huge piece, and we were kind of at the beginning of that process. And so we probably spent, because that's when I was in 5th grade, we probably spent a good 3-ish, 4 years creating pre-assessments, post-assessments before the district did the benchmarks and did the whole thing. We were kind of doing it before we really looked at our curriculum and lined it out and did the whole vertical mapping and the horizontal mapping and all of that, and looked at, well, is this unit really part of what we're supposed to be teaching anymore?
That you'll start to see this happening in the general ed classroom, because it's like, well, if this worked, the teachers figure out, well, I'm working in a different way. And if the kids are that excited and that enthused, well, so why wouldn't that be good to do more of in the classroom? And not that every day, you're walking in and it looks like an enrichment cluster. It doesn't. But I do feel like it is influencing how they're organizing their day or how they're teaching in the class. And the whole focus on trying to get people to use kids' interests, and that's using that Renzulli survey. We have some ideas about what their interests are, their product types, their learning styles, and so bringing that into the classroom, that's just another way to validate kids.